Okay, so this is cover 4. Um, let's take a look. In the first video, we went over cover 4 versus a 2x2 set. Excuse me, a 2x2 set. Let's go over cover 4 versus a trip set because the rules change. No, I don't want a quick game. I want to choose new play. For nickel 2-4-5, cover 4 quarters, formation, single back. Nothing there. There we go. Trip's weak.
Flying Madden! Who ain't got?
Oh, Gino. Okay. Cover 4 versus the trips formation. Okay, let's take a look at this. It's very interesting, okay? Now, the a lot of the rules stay the same. So over here, you have your corner. He's reading. Oh, wait, let me go over this first. Notice how the offensive formation is not in a 2x2 set anymore. Okay, they're in what would be a 3x1 set. So they have 3 potential offensive threats on this side of the field. Okay, because the center is the center of the offense. They have 3 wide receivers to the right of the offense. On the left side, they just have 1. Okay, and that's what trips is, a 3x1 set. And they have the back in the backfield on that side as well. So what changes with cover 4, you call cover 4 again, but the rules are a little different. Corner is reading Q to 1 to 2. Again, he's looking for the quarterback for a 3-step drop. It's a 3-step drop. He can be more aggressive, jump outs, that sort of thing. If the quarterback is not a 3-step drop, he looks for the number 1 receiver here. If the receiver runs vertical, that's his man. Vertical is anything past linebacker depth. So that would be 5 yards in this instance. If this receiver were to run anything past 5 yards, he's to match him man on man. Okay. If he doesn't, then he rolls his eyes to number 2, looking to bracket any vertical route that receiver were to run. So if this receiver were to run a corner combined with this receiver running a hitch, then this corner is to try to bracket that corner route and maybe play underneath the route and look to be a nuisance and to close the window on any type of throw. You really want to bait the quarterback into throwing something like that against this coverage. The safety is involved in the run fit, so he has a lot more responsibilities. First, he's looking for any run action. If it's not a run, he's looking run to quarterback to 2 to 1. That's his progressional read. If it's not a run, he's looking for the quarterback 3-step drop. If it's a 3-step drop, he can be more aggressive, play on his toes, and look to jump on an inside breaking route or be a football player. Okay. If not, he's looking for the number 2. If it's not a quick route or whatever, if the number 2 were to run, excuse me, if the number 2 were to run anything vertical, then that's his man. He's to play him man up. Okay, so anything past linebacker depth ran by this guy, then the safety, that's your guy. Okay. If that guy were to run anything that's not a vertical route, like something inside, then the number 2 is kicking his eyes to number 1, and he's looking to rob any vertical route by that receiver, like a post, dig, or curl. Okay, same thing. If this guy were to run an outside route, an outside stem breaking route, then he can just play inside and look for work. Okay, so those are his reads. This guy is doing the same thing. Your quarterback player, he's the match 2 player. If this player were to run an out breaking route inside, then he's to match that out. If he were to run a vertical route, he's to get a reroute on this player to reroute him up the field. That's so this guy doesn't get a free release on your safety. Okay. If he were to run something inside and shallow, then your quarter flat is to squeeze on that player to deter, a quick throw from the quarterback. You just want to shrink the window. Okay. And as he's doing that, he's cognizant of any route being run from the running back into the flat. Okay, so he can release the inside receiver running that inside route as he's sinking it inside with him, shrinking the window. He sees the running back running a flat route. He can get on his toes and go play that route. Okay, now the difference. Oh, wait, he's also looking for number 3 too. As he's sinking inside, if let's say this tight end runs a flat, well then the second he sees that, he releases that guy and he plays that outside route. Okay, so he's matching any outs that he sees. Okay, it's pretty much his primary responsibility. Okay, the example I gave with the running back running a flat, that would be something like if this guy runs a shallow in and the tight end stays in the block for whatever reason, and the running back were to run like a swing route to the opposite side of the quarterback there. Okay. Now the thing that changes is, well, now since they have 3 receivers on the side, you really have to account for this guy running a vertical route. Okay. Several different ways different teams deal with this, but the way Madden has it coded is that if this guy were to run a vertical route, then the weak side safety, this guy, is to play him man to man. So let's go over here this guy's responsibilities. He's involved in the run fit. Okay, so it's not a run, and then he kicks his eyes to the number 3, which is the tight end there. If the number 3 is getting vertical, so post snap he's taking 2 shuffle steps inside as he's making these reads. And if that number 3 receiver gets vertical, he's got to match him man to man. Okay. Now you may say, well, his alignment is pretty bad, and honestly, I don't agree with the way Madden has the alignment here. Traditionally, I believe in cover 4. If you come out in cover 4 and they're running trips, the weak side safety, being that those are his reads, he plays more like the center line of the quarterback. Granted, it may give away that you're running cover 4, but I mean, there's ways to disguise. You can disguise it to look like cover 1 or cover 3, that sort of thing. Okay, but anyway, since he's here, the Mike linebacker, your 3 receiver player, is going to get a reroute on this player. And what this does is it helps out your free safety because he's trying to kick over and deal with any vertical routes by this guy. Now, if that guy were to run anything inside and shallow, then he can play his traditional cover 4 robbing type of coverage where he's looking to rob post dig curl of this player right here. Okay. Now if this guy were to run shallow and the number 3 were to run something shallow, then he can pretty much just be a football player, right? And look for work. Your corner here, being that they're in trips, is straight off the bat man to man versus this guy. So he's not playing. Again, this is why the play art for cover 4 is just so misleading. Okay, you may play cover 4 thinking this guy's going to drop into a zone here, and then you get pissed off because you're usering excuse me, you're using this safety, and you play like inside or something, and this tight end were to run like a deep post route, right? And you see the quarterback throw a deep throw, and the guy just catches it wide open in this area here. And then you get pissed off. You're like, man, I was playing cover 4. Where was this guy? What is he doing? Well, that's because you didn't. This is why it's important to understand the rules of the defense that you're playing. You may blame this guy, but in actuality, you're the player that gave up the touchdown because you didn't understand that you were supposed to match the number 3 taking a vertical route. You're playing the defense wrong as a user. Okay. Maybe on that particular touchdown that you gave up, this guy ran, a slant route, and you didn't understand that this guy against a trips formation in cover four is designed to play man to man versus this guy wherever he goes, slant route, out route, inside, shallow, um, 10-yard in route, whatever route he's running, he's matching them. He's playing man to man. Okay, so those are his responsibilities, and that's one of the ways a team may decide to exploit a cover four team, right? Let's say you have the Bengals and you have an athlete in AJ Green that you feel that can just dominate any of their corners 1v1, and you've been playing 2x2 sets all game, and your inside receivers, pretty much run inside routes, and AJ Green has been getting double covered all game. And you realize it's because they're playing a cover four match read coverage. It's because, and I'm getting off subject here, but the inside corner is able, the safety on AJ Green's side can double and bracket him because your inside receiver is running stuff inside. He's not taking up this man by running vertical routes. So what a team may do is they may say, well, let's run a trips formation, get a 3x1 formation, forcing the covers 4 team to have to play 1v1 over here, and then you put AJ Green on the weak side. See, that's the beauty of football, being able to exploit different teams just on a formation alone. Okay, and that's why it's very important to understand the rules and regulations of different defenses so you can learn the weaknesses of those defenses and try to exploit them. But essentially, and that's another thing, that's what some teams may do if they have a great corner that they feel can be on an island versus any player on the other team. Well, you may run cover 4, and whenever the team plays trips formation, you will put your best corner on the weak side. So you don't even have to worry about what's going on over here, and you can just run all types of stuff on the other side of the field. Well, especially with cover 4. You can just give the other team so many problems because they can't even exploit the 1v1 on this side because you have, a Champ Bailey, Darrelle Revis, that sort of thing. Okay, so I believe I went over everyone. Now, the Will, your quarter flat on this side of the field, he's playing pretty much man-to-man versus the back. So if the back were to run any route, comes in and he breaks on the inside or, a wheel route, then you just have to match him man-to-man, okay? And this is just in trips. Now, the mic, it's one thing with the mic. This guy runs vertical, you have to reroute him, okay? Now, if this guy were to run a shallow route, running across face, then he pretty much, he pretty much has to match him and play him man-to-man. And that is because he's really not going to be able to pass him off to anyone. Madden, I believe they have it designed match, carry, deliver, where you are to match outs, carry verticals, and deliver crossers. So as he's crossing your face, you are to match him until you're able to pass him off to another player. But against this formation, this guy is locked up man-to-man, so you can't pass him to him, and any route ran by this guy takes up your will, so there's no one really to pass him off to. So if he were to cross face in a trips formation, then you have him man-to-man. So that's cover 4 against the trips formation.